I'm Karen Wallace for Morningstar. I'm at the Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholders meeting. It's about halfway through the meeting and we're taking a lunch break. I'm here with equity analyst Josh Aguilar. Josh, what's your take so far on the meeting?
Yeah, it's been actually interesting. One thing we were able to actually hear about was the purchase in Amazon. So the question was really raised about, is Berkshire Hathaway changing its investment style? I think Buffett has made a very clear point that really there's no difference between growth and value. They think about the same thing. It all goes back to Aesop's fable of bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So all intelligent investing is looking at it that way. There's a lot of components of it. We don't look at growth and value separately, and I think that's going to continue even with Todd and Ted in the future.
So you touch on Todd and Ted. There were some questions about succession planning. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's great. Actually, we were able to get some insight from Ajit and a little bit into their relationship, Warren's and Ajit's relationship. And regularly, you'd see that Ajit and Warren talk every night. And so the question was raised about pricing unconventional insurance contracts. And one thing that's really interesting is it's more art than science. They look at historical information. But really, the key insight I thought was how attracting key talent is critical. There's nothing you can teach about pricing unconventional contracts. And I think he's been a great add to Berkshire and is going to be a great legacy addition in terms of just the insurance operations.
Another question that came up with the insurance operations is how they value the insurance operations. That was kind of an interesting response. Can you give your take on that?
Yeah, so it's interesting. Berkshire actually doesn't disclose the book value of insurance equity. So usually when we're looking at insurance operators, that's how we just multiple to book. And so that's not disclosed. So really, Buffett did a good job of explaining how they think about float. These are the premiums they don't have to pay out for many, many years and how that's allowed them to really invest this at really high rates of return. And at Geico, they're the low-cost producer. And that's really one of the modes that we look at is cost advantage. And so it was insightful information, and it was a good way to kind of think about how the business going forward is valued.
Do you have any wrapping up thoughts so far now that we're halfway through the meeting?
Yeah, I think what will be interesting is we could see Greg and Ajit in the future. They're obviously taking a much more active role, and you're seeing a smoother transition, and you're getting a taste of what the culture is like going forward. I mean, we're not expecting huge changes in that sense, and I think that's the biggest takeaway.
All right, thanks a lot. For Morningstar, I'm Karen Wallace.